Start again. Okay. Welcome to Wise Women Wednesday with Brava Women Networking. Today we've got the amazing Kaye Cramond from Grow Cook Store. With over 50 years of cooking experience, Kaye is passionate about blending traditional methods with modern kitchens. Through Grow Cook Store, she's on a mission to upskill and inspire home cooks with hands-on classes. She's got prepping for short and long-term skills. She tells you how to reheat, she's got powders, and she's got stock. And Kaye will explain all those to us right now. Over to you, Kaye.
Thanks, Dia. Welcome. Thank you very much for having me. Today I just thought I would just have a bit of a chit-chat about things that you probably would end up throwing away while you're cooking, like as in veggies and things like that. And so I thought we would just talk about how you can actually preserve those, or you've spent money on organic, maybe, produce. Don't throw half the things away. You can actually utilise those. So always buy the best quality fruit and veg that you can afford. That's most importantly. Prepping for meals, you might have the end of carrots, onions and celery, and they're the things that I'm actually going to be talking about today, and the actual health benefits of those particular veg and how we can actually use those in stocks and things like that. So if you're prepping, you're going to have carrots and celery in a meal, or onions. If you've got organic onions, this is for organic onions, save the actual outer husky part, and put those into perhaps an aerated bag, like one of those orange bags that you get with your oranges in it. It's got you can put your airflow, and save those. With your celery, save the actual root side of it. You can actually clean those up and slice those very finely and dehydrate those. And all your peelings from your carrots, the tops and the tails, just making sure that you've actually scrubbed the top where the actual, leaves come out of a carrot, because that can get a bit dirty there. But these can actually become the basis of soups and flavours, and also in stocks. So the benefits of actually onion skins, I just was blown away with onion skins when I did a bit of a research a few years back. And the actual onion skin has, if you can steep it in water, you can actually drink it if you've got a cold, because it can actually help with your respiratory sections. But it's also got lots of antioxidants. It's vitamin C, and it's got potassium and trace elements actually in it. But the skins can actually, they've actually got more vitamin C in them than the actual, and antioxidants, than the actual onion itself. So the skins are actually quite good to actually use. Also, the onion skins can be, as I said, you can actually use those, put those in hot water and steep it, and when it's cool, you can use it as a hair rinse. Believe it or not, it can actually stop dandruff and reduce dandruff, and also soften your hair. It's very good to drink. You can actually use it for leg cramps, and you can use it as a hair dye. And I haven't tried that, obviously. You can make a tincture out of it, which is alcohol and the onion skins. You can do that for about 6 weeks and drink that, and that's really good. You can put some garlic and other things in chilies, and that's almost like a fire cider. And you can put cider vinegar, apple cider vinegar in with that, and that becomes a really good cough and cold. So you're actually using something that you would normally throw away. It's actually quite a benefit. All your veggie stocks, if you want to, you can put your skins, your celery, tops, your leaves, and your and the actual root, as well as the carrot. And what I'd like to actually add is astralis root. I don't know whether you can actually see that. Yeah, okay. And this particular root pulls out all the nutrients actually out of your fruit and veg. It's very good for stocks, but it's also good for meat. If you've got bones and you're actually wanting to make a bone broth, it will actually draw out far more nutrients out of your food. You only need a few or four. They're actually like, they just look like a bit of shaved bark, because that's what they are. This is a root. Can you see that? Yeah, they're just like a root. And that just goes in. There's no flavour. But it just eliminates. You'd probably put apple cider vinegar a little bit in your stocks to actually draw it out. But that root actually does more. So you can save, as I said, you save the skins. You can dry and dehydrate them in the oven, and you can actually powder them. So you can put them in. I just use, like, this is a baby NutriBullet, and I just use that because it actually has a little top on, the container comes off, but it's only tiny, and it can actually wash it out, which is really good, because some of them, like a coffee grinder or things like that, you can't get in and give it a good wash, but that one is really good. And then you can just use the powders, so you can dehydrate your skins of your celery as well as your carrots and your onions. And then you can actually put those into the freezer if you want. If you want to powder it and dehydrate, you could actually just have 3 bags going in your freezer. So when you've got your leftovers, you put all your carrots into one bag and you put the celery into another. So then when you want to make a stock, you can just grab those out and put them in frozen straight into your stock pot, and then just make a stock that way. You can also make a stock paste, so it's thick. So you would put some water with it and make it like a really thick mash, and zap that in your blender and put that in fine on your sheets of your dehydrator. Dehydrate that, and then you can powder that. So then you've got your carrots, your celery, and your onion peel all together. So that then becomes a stock cube. So you've got no nasties, you don't have any sugar, you don't have any salt, you don't have any caking agents or anything like that. So that's a really good one to use. The carrot peelings would only have like about 11% of the actual carrot that you're taking away, yet in those peelings, it's about 54% of the nutrients of that one carrot. So you're throwing away a lot of goodness. So if you buy organic carrots, just scrub them and eat the skins, because that's where all the goodness is. Your 54% of the minerals and nutrients. Celery actually has antioxidants in it and reduces inflammation. So they're really good for, you might find you've got a lot of inflammation, and naturopath might say just have celery juice. But that's another reason why. And it also supports digestion, and it has an alkaline effect. So if you've got a bad tummy or something like that, if you've got that powdered celery, you can actually put that into hot water and drink it. Or that stock powder that you've actually dehydrated, you can just put that into hot water and just have a nutritious drink. I've got recipes if you want them for celery soup, and for one that actually has some dehydrated horseradish, and that's a really nice one as well. So just drop me a line if you want the recipes and I can send those over. Other powders that I actually use are mushrooms. So if I dehydrate mushrooms, what I can do is that I can just put those into a sauce or something like that, or hydrate it with some hot water and then use that. Or I can take those dried mushrooms and powder those. So if I was making a risotto that would have fresh mushrooms, I can use the powder in that particular dish to give it a bit more of a flavour boost. Then you only need like a teaspoon, and that's like about 3 or 4 mushrooms, but it's more intense in flavour because it's been dried. So that's a really good one. Another one that I absolutely love and I always have is ginger. Or if I'll do the scrapings of a ginger. So if I'm going to dehydrate ginger so that I can make a powder for cakes and any other Chinese dish or something like that that requires ginger, I've got it on hand. But I'll use the peelings, dehydrate those and powder them, and they're specific for stocks. So anything that needs to have a ginger flavour in it, you're not actually using the whole ginger plant, you're just using the skins or the scrapings, and they can be used to flavour like a faux or something like that. And then you strain it and you've still got the ginger flavour through. Your lemons, orange peels, if you're not using the peel, but you only want the juice, peel the lemon and the lime first. Set that aside. You can either put those straight into the freezer, or you can put those in the dehydrator, and you can powder those, and you've got extra flavour boost, and you can put those in anything like icing for cakes. You can put them in the cake, but they're absolutely fantastic. So then you've actually got, you're not wasting the whole bit. You're using the lemon for your drink or whatever you want the juice for, but you also using the peel. Those peels can also, if you didn't want to blitz them, you could just leave them whole. You could put them in teas. They're always really nice to actually give it a bit of a boost. You could cut them up very finely if you wanted to, or zest them. If you didn't want to peel them, you could just zest them off. Herbs, I love having, coriander, parsley, oregano. This is actually oregano that has been powdered. Mint, but this is veggie stock that's actually being done, and that's just in a powder form. So I've always got veggie stock and chicken stock on hand, so I can make that. Tomatoes, so you can actually just do whole tomatoes and just make up a powder. If I wanted to do, or you can, a pizza base and you haven't got any extra paste on hand, just a tablespoon of that with a tablespoon of water makes up a good paste for the bottom of your pizza or anything else like that. The other thing is, with these particular containers, I use those in my canning class because, this is what you use, but also it's very good for sealing. So you can see that top is actually stuck on, and this is I don't know whether you can see it. This is a vacuum pack that sits over the top of the jar and sucks out all the air that's inside the jar, but it also attaches the lid, so there's no air getting in this. And so each time I go into this, I can then use what I need, and then I just get the vacuum pump, suck out the rest of the air, and it stays fresh.
1 minute, Kaye.
Okay.
1 minute. Yep.
My next class for dehydrating, which we do this, we make zucchini flour and use that, and we make a chocolate cake with it, and you get to eat it in class. Lots of other things that are actually happening. 22nd of March is the next dehydrating class. And so that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kaye. And we'll pop your website under the chat so everyone can have a look, and those who want to